Hey everybody, this is Aaron Page, developer of the Final Fantasy VIII accessibility mod. It has been a few months since I posted the original video teasing the development of the accessibility mod. I had hoped to release it a little bit sooner than now, but to be perfectly honest with you, I was probably a little bit more picky than I needed to be. And so even though the first 5 or so hours of gameplay really could have been released a few months ago, I just felt compelled to polish it up, tighten things up a little bit more, make sure more of the game was available before I kind of launched it more in full. And so as of today, the date that I am releasing this video, which is July 26th, 2026, essentially the entire first disc of the game is now complete inside of the mod. So going through the game with the mod, you can make your entire way through disc one, all the boss battles, the world map navigation, all of that successfully using the mod. The main core game elements are obviously all there. What really is the trick now are finding little side quests, little mini games that need their own accessibility handles in order for the player to progress. And so, really, that's what I'm doing at this point, as well as incorporating a few additional pieces of game functionality that aren't there yet. So, for example, the Triple Triad card game is currently not supported by the mod, but definitely will be. So, things like that. But for now, I wanted to go ahead and create this video. I've seen some people responding to the one I posted a few months ago. Wanted to be able to show the gameplay as it is right now, and that way you can see how it's working. And if you're interested, you can go on to GitHub and download it and try it out yourself. One thing I will mention before we dive on in, if you are interested in trying the mod out yourself, right now the installation process is not ideal. It is essentially a three-step, four-step process. You need to install the game from Steam. You then need to install a modding tool called FF8. Then you install a loader, or yeah, I guess it's called a loader. It bypasses the game's original launcher that uses an inaccessible registration form. Once you've added that, then you install the mod. And then that is essentially the steps you have to go through. I do want to streamline that and eventually just have more of like a dedicated single installer, but that'll be coming later down the road. So if you're able to handle the installation steps to get the mod up and running, you should be able to handle any kind of weird random quirks as you're playing through the game. So with that, let's dive on into Final Fantasy VIII. So I'm going to fire us off with new game here.
Credits. New game. Fade in from black. Opening FMV. Waves roll rhythmically onto a smooth, pale sandy beach. The camera slowly pans across the shoreline as surf washes forward and recedes. The ocean stretches to the horizon, sunlight glinting off the water's surface. The waves continue their steady pulse against the sand. White text appears over the ocean, the words floating ethereally, "I'll be here." Camera races across the water. Text, "Why?" The ocean transforms into a vast cracked desert. The camera sweeps across the desert. Text, "I'll be waiting, here." Reno stands in a field of flowers, facing away. Text, "For what?" Closer on Reno, hair blowing. Text, "I'll be here." What? Close up of Reno's hand, she opens her palm and a soft glow appears. A glowing white feather appears in her palm and drifts upward. The feather rises into dark, swirling storm clouds. Pink, SFX volume 80%. Music volume 20%, music volume 30%. The feather reaches its apex and transforms. A gunblade falls from the storm and slams point first into stone. Title card, Squaresoft presents. The gloved hand reaches down and grips the embedded gunblade. Rapid montage, white feathers flood the screen amid flashes of characters. Rapid cuts, a woman's silhouette, flowing fabric, intense eyes. Edia in her horned headdress and dark robes. Reno turns amid feathers. The feathers dissolve. Scene shifts to a barren rocky plateau under gray clouds. Cypher, blonde in a gray trench coat, swings his gunblade Hyperion and smirks. Cypher raises a hand, beckoning his opponent forward with a cocky smirk. Squall, in a fur-collared black jacket, charges from the opposite end. Blades clash in an explosion of sparks. Rapid cuts, Eddie's eyes, Reno watching, then back to the duel. Gunblades lock together, both fighters strained against each other. Cypher pushes Squall back. Squall counterattacks. They exchange a flurry of strikes, circling the rocky ground. Cypher casts a fire spell, a burst of flame blasts Squall back. Squall is knocked to the ground. He forces himself to rise. Cypher slashes the rising Squall across the face, blood streaks down his cheek. Cut to Reno's pendant, Eddie's eyes. Golden overlays, Reno and Eddie's images merge and separate. Squall charges Cypher with a desperate upward slash. The slash cuts Cypher's face. Both men now bear matching scars. Squall and Reno reach for each other. Cut to black. The Final Fantasy VIII logo, Squall and Reno embracing, framed by wings. Final Fantasy VIII Accessibility Mod, by Aaron Page. Balamb Garden, Infirmary 2. Dr. Katawaki, how are you feeling? Selected. Okay, I guess. My forehead hurts.
Okay, so here we are in the actual gameplay. Just a few notes about what you just saw, that opening FMV. You heard the audio descriptions on there. Shout out, I do not have their handle in front of me, but one of the contributions that has been made to the mod was somebody went in and actually created the first 20 videos, really just amazing audio descriptions. I created AI generated audio descriptions for all 104 in-game FMVs, and they were not great. They were okay, I guess, but a lot of them were just not accurate. They missed important details, things like that. And so had a developer contribute to the mod the first 20 videos, just really amazing audio descriptions, and that's what you just heard right there was one example of that. Something else you might have noticed at first, the music sound might have been a little hard to hear. I increased the volume of it kind of mid-flight. So the mod gives you the ability to adjust both the sound effects and the background music volume. This is really kind of essential for blind players to be able to easily hear the speech going on in the game. And so you can adjust those. There is also audio ducking. And so whenever speech is going, if audio ducking is enabled, it will automatically decrease the sound effects and the background music volume just to make it a little easier to hear the speech. In case you're wondering what's generating the speech in this mod comes entirely from SAPI, and so it's not designed to be played using a screen reader like JAWS or NVDA. Screen readers like that, the simple story is they essentially get in the way of the keyboard navigation, and so it just, for simplicity's sake, and to have the best experience, it's better to just use SAPI for something like this. And so that's what's going on. So if you have different SAPI voices installed in Windows, you can use whichever voice you want. There are keyboard shortcuts that will allow you to switch between them.
Voice, Microsoft Zero Desktop, English, so United States.
There is now Sierra.
Voice, Microsoft David Desktop,
There's
English,
Microsoft
United
David,
States.
right? So those are the two that I have installed by default. So that's what I can switch between. So just a quick understanding about the audio. In-game dialogues are being supported. You also might have heard it say something like Balamb Garden, Infirmary when the screen loaded. That is something that will happen on every field of the game. So as you progress from one field into another, the mod will automatically announce the name of the field that you have just entered into. So with this, let's go ahead and continue.
My forehead hurts. My forehead hurts. Dr. Katawaki, no kidding. Dr. Katawaki, looks like your eyes are focusing. You should be fine. Say your name for me. Squall. Dr. Katawaki, why don't you take it easy in training? Next time you might not be so lucky.
So, some of you who are familiar with the game might be wondering, wait a minute, what about the character naming screen? And so, part of the mod that the way I've developed it at this point is it uses what I call character naming bypass. It will automatically set the default names for any nameable characters, so Squall, Renoa, various GFs. It will just automatically put the default name in there. Two reasons for that. One, it spared me from having to add the entire keyboard screen, the naming screen, adding that functionality, which, would require some work, but is certainly doable. More importantly, in my mind, was it creates better consistency with the audio descriptions, right? So you can't name the main character Bob and then the audio descriptions continue to call him Squall. So it just creates a more consistent, unified experience, and it's just one less thing the player needs to jump through. So you'll notice whenever you would expect a character naming screen to pop up, the mod is just going to fire off the name of the default name character or GF.
Squall, tell that to Cypher. Dr. Katawaki, that Cypher won't listen to anyone. Why don't you ignore him? Squall, I can't just run away. Dr. Katawaki, you want to be cool, huh? Well, don't get hurt in the process. Dr. Katawaki, let's see, your instructor is Dr. Katawaki Quistis. I'll call her now. Just wait here a minute. Dr. Katawaki Quistis? Come get your student. Yes, yes. His injury's not serious. It'll probably leave a scar. Right. Now please come by. B Garden, Infirmary 3. Squall, so we meet again. The doors slide open, revealing a beautiful woman entering the scene. Garden Infirmary, a teal room with desk and monitor. From Squall's point of view, lying on a bed, Quistis Treep stands before him in her uniform of fitted jacket and skirt. Close-up of Quistis. Neat hair, glasses, she sighs softly and smiles. B Garden, Infirmary 2. Quistis, I knew it'd be either you or Cypher. Quistis, come on, let's go. Today's the field exam. B Garden, Hallway 6. Quistis, Squall. Is there something on your mind? Quistis, not really. Squall, not really. Quistis, ha ha ha. Squall, what's so funny? Quistis, funny? No, it's not that. I'm just happy. Quistis, I feel like I'm beginning to understand my student a little. That's all. Squall, I'm more complex than you think. Quistis, then tell me. Quistis, tell me more about yourself. Squall, it's none of your Quistis business. The interior corridor of Balamb Garden, a purple carpet strip runs down the center. A cadet descends stairs as warm light spills in from outside. The garden courtyard is lush with trees and benches as cadets walk and relax in the sunlight. Looking up at the garden's hub, a futuristic tower spirals toward the sky, crowned by a glowing halo. B Garden, Classroom 1. Quistis, good morning, class. Quistis, let's start with today's schedule. Quistis, there seem to have been some rumors flying around since yesterday. Yes, the field exam for seed candidates will begin later this afternoon. Quistis, those not participating and those who failed last week's written test are to remain here in study hall. Quistis, field exam participants will have free time until the exam. Just be sure you're in top condition. Quistis, meet in hall at 1600 hours. I'll announce the team assignments there. Quistis, any questions? Quistis, oh, and Cypher. Quistis, do not injure your partner while training. Be careful from now on. Quistis, field exam participants, I will see you all later. Quistis and Squall, I need to talk to you. Music volume 20%, music volume 10%.
Okay, so here we are now, finally able to really move around inside of the game. So, one thing to mention here before we talk about navigation, if you are familiar with Final Fantasy VIII and the PC edition, the original PC edition of Final Fantasy VIII came with a MIDI version of the soundtrack rather than the same that came on the PlayStation 1 version, and the MIDI version included in the original PC edition is awful. So, would highly recommend, it is not required to run the mod, but would highly recommend downloading the mod that allows you to have the original PS1 audio files inside of the game. That way you can hear it as it's playing now, which is the original PS1 music, and it's beautiful. To me, it's, I before I lost my vision, I played 7, 8, 9, 10, 6. I think Final Fantasy VIII has hands down the most beautiful soundtrack of them all. So let's talk navigation. So how do you move around in this game? There is essentially two ways to do it. You can do it automatically and you can do it manually. And so I have created what I call the entity catalog. And so you use the plus and minus keys on the keyboard to move through a catalog of things that you can either interact with or go through. So for example, exits will appear in the catalog, NPCs will appear in the catalog, interactable objects, signs, things like that will appear in the catalog. Trigger lines that when you cross them will cause events to occur will be shown in the catalog. So this is one area that, every now and again, the game throws a little bit of a curveball, I would say. It's not just architect it and then it works across all the fields. I have found it works across most, but every once in a while you will find fields that the structure is just not quite the same, and so it requires a little bit more handling. A really good example of this is Caraway's mansion later on in the game. That room, there's actually like 3 different versions of what looks like one room that created some confusion for the catalog. So this is an area where you might see some bugs if you download and play this yourself as you progress through the game. You might notice, let's say, a phantom exit, right? An exit that it shows up in the catalog, but when you try to navigate to it, it will say there is no target, things like that. But those are getting more and more rare over time, and the kind of bugs that get worked out. So let me show you the catalog here.
Object 1 of 1.
So object 1.
Interaction 1 of 1.
Interaction 1.
Object 1 of 1.
And that's it. There's just 2 things right now on this screen that I can interact with. So
interaction 1
interaction 1.
Nearby. Northeast. 1 steps.
Nearby. Northeast. 1 step. Right. So for those of you who are familiar with the game, this is how you interact with Squall's desk. Now, Squall's desk here is actually one part of the game that doesn't have accessibility support yet.
Let's see. Selected. Turn on the power and, what a pain.
So here, the actual initial dialogue is just a standard ask dialogue, so that works fine. But if you actually turn on the study panel, nothing inside of there will really read out or read out correctly. So not going to worry about this right now, but just wanted to show you what that interaction
What a pain.
is. So we're going to say, what a pain, get out of here.
B garden, classroom 1.
All right, now we're back in the classroom.
Object 1 of 1.
So, object 1.
Navigating to object. South, 4 steps. East, 4 steps.
And then east 4 steps.
Nearby. East, 2 steps. West, 6 steps.
So, it moved me from the back of the classroom to the front of the classroom now. So now if I go through the catalog...
Navigating to NPC. Northeast, 4 steps.
There
Navigation
are more
off.
things in the catalog.
NPC 2 of 4. NPC 3 of 4. NPC 4 of 4. Exit to B garden, 2F hallway 3, 1 of 1. Interaction 1 of 7. Interaction 2 of 7. Interaction 3 of 7. Interaction 4 of 7. Interaction 5 of 7. Interaction 6 of 7. Interaction 7 of 7. Object 1 of 1. NPC 1 of 4.
So, lots of things on this screen here. So, let's go ahead. So, you just saw me using manual navigation, right? So, you select an entity from the catalog.
NPC 2 of 4.
So, here's
NPC 1 of 4.
NPC 1, right? And hit backspace.
Navigating to NPC. Northeast, 4 steps.
Then you get directions to try to guide you manually to it, and it will update as you move.
Northwest, 3 steps. Nearby. Northeast, 2 steps. In range. Quistis, you haven't been to the fire cavern yet, have you? Quistis, you won't be able to take part in today's seed exam if you don't pass this prerequisite. I was gonna go this morning, but Cypher. Quistis, Do you have a good excuse? Squall, not really. Quistis, then let's get going. Quistis, if you're not too confident yet, you can review your studies at the study panel. Quistis, I'll be waiting at the front gate, so come down when you're ready. Quistis, you can access the study panel from your seat.
Okay, so you just saw me using manual navigation to get to Quistis there, triggered the next scene. So now let me show you auto navigation. So I'll move to an NPC in the catalog.
NPC 2 of 3.
And so instead of hitting backspace, which gives me that manual navigation instructions, I'm going to hit the / key.
Driving. Arrived.
So it just says driving, moves me to it, and then it says arrived when you're in range.
Should anything happen to Instructor Treep, the trapeze will get you back.
That's that NPC's line of dialogue.
NPC 3 of 3. Driving. Arrived. Alone with Instructor Treep. Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3, 1 of 1. Interaction 1 of 7. Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3, 1 of 1. NPC 3 of 3. NPC 2 of 3. NPC 1 of 3. Auto drive unavailable, dialogue is open. Driving. Arrived.
So you might have noticed it said auto drive was unavailable, so if you forget to hit the X key to close out of a dialogue, the auto drive will tell you this, so you know you're not actually moving, basically.
I'm so jealous. Maybe I should take up that subject, too.
Alright. Poor Treppy groupies. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's go out of the classroom now.
Interaction 1 of 7. Interaction 2 of 7. Interaction 1 of 7. Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3, 1 of 1. Driving. B Garden, 2F Hallway 3.
Alright.
Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 1, 3 of 3. Driving. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Why? Selected, are you okay? Cancel. Are you okay? Squall, are you okay?
We're gonna be a considerate version of Squall in this game.
There. Tee-hee, I'm fine. Sorry. I was kinda in a hurry. Oh yeah. Hey, did you just come from that class? Is homeroom over? Woo, oh, no. This place is so much bigger than my last garden. Oh, hey. I just transferred here. Do you think you could give me a quick tour of this garden? Sure, don't have the time. Don't have the time. Sure. Squall, sure. Woohoo. Alright, let's go. Squall will take the elevator to the 1F lobby and I'll show you the directory.
Okay.
Driving. Arrived. B Garden, 2F Hallway 1. Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3, 1 of 1. Object 1 of 5. Object 2 of 5. Directory 3 of 5. Object 4 of 5. Object 5 of 5. NPC 1 of 1. Driving. Arrived. Oh, hey, would you like to have these? My brother gave me these cards but they're really not my thing. You can have them if you'd like. What? How do you play a card game? I think it'd be best to look at the card game explanation in the tutorial. I don't know much about it, really. If you want to play cards with someone, talk to them by pressing. But keep in mind, not everyone is a card player. Oh, and by the way, I don't play, so don't bother challenging me. Received 7 cards. Exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3, 1 of 1. Navigating to exit to B Garden, 2F Hallway 3. West, 6 steps. Navigating to object. East, 4 steps. Driving, nearby. East, 2 steps. Arrived. In range. B Garden, Hall 8. 5. Exit to B Garden, Hall 1, 2 of 3. Navigating to exit to B Garden, Hall 1. East, 2 steps. Nearby. East, 2 steps. B Garden, Hall 1. Squall, that's the directory. NPC 2 of 3. B Garden, Hall 13. Squall, well, this is it. Squall, Balamb Garden is pretty big. It's a good idea to check where you want to go, and select it here. I have a question. How do you use this? Squall, move the cursor and press to select. Squall, next, I'll give a quick explanation of the various facilities. Yes, sir. Squall, you'll find a dormitory to the north. A majority of the students live in the dorms. There aren't too many students who commute. Yeah, I'm in the dorms, too. Squall, you can rest and change in there. Squall, west of the north block is the cafeteria. Squall, there's always a big rush for the hot dogs. You better get used to waiting in line. Got it? Squall, east of the north block is the parking lot. Squall, we usually take the garden car when a mission comes up. Squall, the front gate is located to the south. That's right. I have to go meet Instructor Treat at the front gate. What's the matter? Squall nothing. Squall next, we have the quad, located in the west block. There's an event being planned there. I know. It's the Garden Festival. It's going to be great. I'm planning to be on the committee. You want to help out, too? Squall, let's just continue. South of the west block is the infirmary. This is where you get treated for your injuries, but a lot of students just come here for advice. What's the doctor's name? Squall, Dr. Katawaki. Squall, now the east block. This is the training center. It's the only facility open at night. It's used for training, and they have real monsters running loose here. If you don't take it seriously, you may end up dead. Just be careful. Gulp, okay. Squall, south of the east block is the library. There's a lot of material you can look up here, but the terminals in the classroom are a lot more efficient. Squall, and you already know about the classroom on the 2F, right? Yep, I remember that one. Squall, by the way, the headmaster's office is located on the 3F. You need permission to get in. Another question. What's the headmaster's name? Squall, headmaster Sid. Squall, that's about it? Anything else? Got it? B Garden, Hall 1. Hey, are you taking today's seed exam? Squall, yet. Then maybe I'll see you again, later. I've already finished my training at my previous garden. I'm taking the seed exam today, too. Good luck to both of us, huh? Thanks a lot.
Okay, done with that. So here we are in the main hall of Balamb Garden. So let's go ahead and we're gonna head for a save point.
NPC 2 of 4. NPC 3 of 4. Save point 1 of 1.
So save points, draw points, those should appear in the entity catalog as well. They support auto and manual navigation like everything else. Let's try and use auto navigation to it.
Driving. Cancelled.
So it seems like we're getting stuck potentially with auto navigation. And so here's a bit of an important point, right? Right now, I would not say either auto or manual navigation is 100% perfect, and you will definitely run into cases where switching between the two really helps you out. So let's see here. It right now is actually saying I'm in range of the NPC. So if I just move.
Save point, access the menu and select save to save your game.
Save point. So it auto navigated me right next to that save point. It's a funny little thing that happens every now and again. So, just be wary of that, right? If you're auto navigating and it says you arrived, but you just aren't, it doesn't let you interact with it yet, you might be right on the edge. That is a bug that I have tried many times to squash, and for a lot of elements it does, but a lot of entities it does not, so just be wary of that. But for now, we heard it say save points. Let's pull up the menu.
Junction.
All right, the menu.
Item, magic, status, GF, ability, switch, card, config, tutorial, save.
Okay, so out of the menu here, let's just talk through these real quick.
Junction.
Junctioning is largely, I would say, accessible at this point. Actually junctioning a GF, setting abilities, using the auto command to assign magic, those are all accessible with the mod. The only part of junctioning I would say that really is not accessible that jumps out at me is junctioning individual spells to specific stats or things like that. So if I wanted to specifically go in and junction cure onto my hit points, that doesn't work with the mod yet. However, the auto command where you just select, junction automatically to attack or magic or defense, that is accessible. And honestly, for most players, I tend to think that's sufficient to get through the game. But definitely being able to junction individual spells will be coming in a future version of the mod. It just didn't strike me as something that was really critical to being able to progress in the game, especially in the earlier stages. Item is accessible with the mod.
Potion, 6, Phoenix down, 4, Remedy, 2, Tent, 5, empty.
Pretty straightforward.
Fuse. Magic.
Magic is not yet accessible, actually.
Empty. Active party, empty. Squall, level 7, HP 486 of 400, empty. Magic. Junction.
So for whatever reason, that particular screen has a slightly different architecture than some of the others. It also is another one that didn't strike me as super essential in the early days of the game. So that one will be coming in a future build as well.
Magic. Status.
Status screen, that, let's see, I can't remember, to be honest with you. I do believe it is. Yes, it is.
Empty.
I should correct myself.
Active party. Squall, level 7. Character statistics. Squall, level 7. Keys, experience 6500. Strength 17. Vitality 6. Magic 6. Spirit 5. Speed 21. Luck 16. Evade 5, hit 255. Weapon, revolver. Squall, level 7, HP 486 of 486. Elemental and status. Squall. Keys 1 elemental attack, 2 elemental resistance, 3 status attack, 4 status resistance.
Right now, he doesn't really have any of these.
No elemental attack junction, no elemental resistances or weaknesses, no status attack junction, no status resistances or weaknesses. GF compatibility. Squall. Press 0 to list compatibility. No GFS obtained. Gunblade auto, off.
And so here we get to his actual limit break settings. And so would definitely recommend Gunblade auto. Turn this to on.
Gunblade auto, on.
Right now, the actual mechanism that you use to know when to press R1 during Squall's limit break to get the exact hit, there is no great audio cue. You can do it on your own if you want to, just by listening to it and judging when the sound of the strike is likely to come. However, you'll likely have a higher hit rate if you just stick to using Gunblade auto. I do intend at a future point to see if we can add a more stronger audio cue that aligns with the visual indicator there.
Range occupant indicator,
So,
disabled.
Speaking of visual indicator, right?
Character
So,
statistics. Squall, level 7. Keys 0 overview, 1 experience, 2 to 7 status. Junction, item, magic, status, GF.
GF, that screen is accessible.
Ability.
Ability, same thing. Should comment on ability that, individual abilities, some of them have their own different screens, so you might find some abilities screens work, some other ability screens do not. Those are just the kind of bugs that I need to find them all and kind of hammer them out over time. So if you ever encounter something like that, please report it using the issues message on GitHub.
Switch.
Switch, that is accessible, definitely was essential. If you want to be able to complete Disc 1, you need the ability to switch between party members and things like that. So that is accessible at this point.
Card.
As I said, the card game is not accessible at this point, so I haven't bothered working on the card submenu yet.
Config.
Config, same thing here. There's not too much that, especially if you're playing using the mod, that you should really need to do in here. So it's not a menu that I've worked on quite yet. You can adjust sound effects, background volume, audio ducking, all of that within the mod itself.
Tutorial.
Tutorial, also not accessible. However, you will find that some of it will read out, just not quite all of it at this point.
Save.
And then save. Save, of course, is accessible. That was essential. Needed that very early on. So let's go ahead and save. Oh, and it's beeping at us, so somehow I might have gotten
Block
moved
4,
slightly
empty,
off the
save.
spot.
Junction.
Fix that.
Nearby. North, 1 steps. In range.
Come
Nearby.
on.
Northwest, 1 steps.
Northwest, 1 step.
In range.
There we go.
Junction. Save. Slot 1. Block 7, Squall, level 16,
Okay.
Balamb Hotel, 2 hours 55 minutes, 4,900 gil.
And here you can see all of my various save slots from while I've been developing the mod. So let's go to save 1.
Block 4, quick, block 1, Squall, level 7, B Garden, Hall, 0 hours 10 minutes,
And there we go.
5,000 gil. Slot 1. Block
So
4, Quistis,
that's
Squall,
the
level 10,
intro to
Balamb,
the
Alcal
game
Plains,
here and
0
the
hours 37 minutes,
accessibility.
5,000 gil.
Wait for that to finish speaking. One thing you'll notice is that to strike a balance between the player missing information or not and being fast, some parts of the interface read out as what you might call assertive. Like they're going to read it out and they're not going to let themselves be interrupted. Things like character dialogue, the entity catalog, and then there are other parts that are more polite and they will wait for the other to finish speaking. They will allow themselves to be interrupted, that kind of thing. So always having to strike a balance there. If you ever have any feedback on that, sending that through GitHub is appreciated. But that is just the introduction to the game here and how the basic navigation works, navigating around through the menu. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here, and in the next video, we are going to go ahead and make our way to the Fire Cavern, and you can actually see world map navigation, battles, that kind of thing. So hope you'll join me in the next video. Thank you all. Please like, subscribe, share this if you can. I'm not like an avid YouTube social media creator, but I do know that first videos like this are very important to help draw attention, and I really want to help blind folks who haven't had the opportunity to experience this game and this world before. I want them to see it. I want them to know about it. I want them to be able to play it. That's why I'm not charging for the mod or anything like that. Like, everybody should have the opportunity to just enjoy this classic game. So thank you all for sharing the message. Hope you'll join me in the next video. Talk to you soon.